Everybody, welcome back on Lit Up with Annie. In this session, we're going to talk about Wyatt and Surrey. Since we're doing Renaissance poetry and especially sonnets, we cannot, of course, miss Wyatt and Surrey, those who have introduced it into English. Even before Philip Sidney. Let's begin. One second. Sir Thomas Wyatt, he was born in 1503 and he died in 1542. He was a lyric poet and he's credited with introducing the sonnet to English literature. So yes, Philip Sidney, of course we talk about Philip Sidney when we talk about sonnets. But even before Sidney, it was Thomas Wyatt and Earl of Surrey, Henry Howard, who are responsible for introducing the sonnet form into English literature. Of course, the influence was Petrarch only. His poems were not published under his name until after his death. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि पहले publish नहीं हुई थी, but they were just circulated and Sir Thomas Wyatt's name was not given. After his death, of course, it was published under his name. So the first major book that featured Thomas Wyatt's works and even the attributed works of to Thomas Wyatt was Total's Miscellany. A very important text. That's what is important when we talk about Wyatt and Surrey, Total's Miscellany. 1557. It was printed 15 years after his death. His work consists of translation and imitation of sonnets by Italian poet Petrarch. So Wyatt was not just a writer, all of these people in the early ages, writing usually was not taken up as a full-time job. So Wyatt के भी और बहुत सारे works थे जो वो करते थे, professions थे. So his work consists of translation and imitation of the sonnets by Italian poet Petrarch. Subject matter was taken from Petrarch's sonnets. Whatever subject matter that Petrarch used to write in his love sonnets, which were dedicated to Laura, even he also imitated that, the subject matter. But again, the difference was in his rhyme scheme. We saw that in Philip Sidney also, that the form, the sestet was a little different. Similarly, here also, the rhyme scheme was significantly different from Petrarch. Petrarch's sonnets consists of an octave rhyming A B B A B B A followed by a sestet with various rhyme schemes. Wyatt employs the Petrarchan octave, but his most common sestet is C D D C E E. Again last में couplet है, तो यहाँ पे भी वही form में difference है. Petrarch का octave होता था, उसके बाद एक sestet होता था with अलग अलग rhyme schemes. लेकिन Wyatt ने Petrarchan octave तो लिया, but most common जो sestet use किया इन्होंने after octave was C D D C E E. Wyatt was imprisoned in the Tower of London for allegedly committing adultery with Anne Boleyn. Who was Anne Boleyn? She was the wife of Henry VIII, one of the wives of Henry VIII. And it was known that Wyatt was probably having an affair with Anne, and that was the reason that he was imprisoned in the Tower of London for committing adultery with Anne. Later on, even Wyatt's father and Wyatt both were imprisoned. Wyatt ultimately was executed. Father को कुछ reasons रहे that he was imprisoned only. The execution couldn't take place because the day his execution was scheduled, on that day Henry VIII passed away. That was the reason. Next we talk about Henry Howard, Earl of Surrey. We generally know Henry Howard by the name of Surrey only. He was actually the Earl of Surrey. So he was born somewhere around 1516 or 17 and he passed away on 19 January 1547. Howard was the first English poet to publish blank verse. Please remember this. First poet to publish blank verse, unrhymed iambic pentameter. What is blank verse? It is not, there's no rhyme scheme, but yes, there is meter, fixed meter. And where did he publish blank verse? In his translation of the second and fourth books of Virgil's Aeneid. Please note. कौन सी books? Second and fourth books of Virgil's Aeneid. His sonnets are the first to be to the rhyme scheme found in Shakespeare's sonnets. The sonnets that are there, his sonnets, they are the first that use the rhyme scheme which are found in Shakespeare's sonnets. इसमें थोड़ा wrongly लिख दिया गया है. Wyatt and Howard, due to their excellent translation of Petrarch's sonnets, are known as fathers of English sonnets. एक तो ये पहले थे इंट्रोड्यूस करने वाले. Also because they have done an excellent job in translation of Petrarch's sonnets into English, taken the subject matter also. That is why they are known as fathers of English sonnet, both. Total's Miscellany, जो है work, it was printed in 1557. It contains 40 poems which are written by Henry Howard. Henry Howard, the Earl of Surrey, was portrayed by the actor David O'Hara in The Tudors. Actually, you can watch this. You still have time, of course. And if you get bored and if you feel like watching something, taking a break, you should watch something which is related to your exam. So you can watch this television series, The Tudors, and I think you will never forget then all of this historical part. It's a television series, and Henry Howard का जो role है, it was portrayed by the actor David O'Hara. If we further talk about Total's Miscellany, 1557, हमने बात किया, it was published. Publisher जो था उसका, his name was Richard Totel. After his name only, Total's Miscellany. The first edition that came, उसका जो title था, it was called Songs and Sonnets written by the Right Honourable Lord Henry Howard, late Earl of Surrey, Thomas Wyatt the Elder, and others. So these were all the contributors of Songs and Sonnets. There are total 271 poems in it, 40 written by Henry Howard. It was also the last large use of sonnet form for several decades in published work until the appearance of Philip Sidney's sonnets sequence Astrophil and Stella and anthology The Phoenix Nest. तो Wyatt and Surrey ने use किया sonnet form in their work. After that, for a very long time, this large use of sonnet form was not there until Philip Sidney's sonnets came, Astrophil and Stella, 1591 and 93 में The Phoenix Nest came. So this is about Wyatt and Surrey. You can go into detail and read about the Total's Miscellany and also the lives of Wyatt and Surrey. I would not suggest going into extreme detail. Just एक बार you have a look on the background, their lives and this work, Total's Miscellany. I will see you in the next session. Please subscribe to my channel and share the video with others also. Thank you.